I don't let myself get too caught up into it. It's kind of like a big bro, little bro type of thing. You know, we're two different players.
The winner is Lamar Jackson.
If there was a new standard that you could set for the young kids that look up to you when they think about wanting to be like Lamar Jackson, what do you want them to think about?
Stay humble. Don't let anything go to your head. You know, always try to better yourself and improve yourself. You can't make them shut up about it unless you just prove them wrong on the field.
He out of the fuck anyway.
Jayden Daniels. Throwing on a rope. Touchdown.
The Heisman Trophy winner is Jayden Daniels.
The player that I look most up to, you know, is Lamar Jackson. We play similar, so seeing him do what he did, that meant a lot. Lamar looked just like me.
At the end of the day, I'm just Lamar. He's his own player. He's his own man. We're trying to make a name by ourselves, not anyone else.
Time now to welcome in CBS Sports football analyst and two-time Super Bowl champ Brian McFadden and B-Mac. Jayden Daniels and Lamar Jackson have wowed the NFL so far. With Jayden, it's more of a surprise because we know what Lamar is, right? Two-time MVP. But Jayden, he leads the league in completion percentage. The Commanders, top of the NFC East, they're 4-1. How has he been able to dissect these defenses to put them in a position right now?
Being very, very smart with the football. When you look at young quarterbacks growing in the National Football League, either they're turning the football over or they're protecting the football, which would result in wins. And that's what we're seeing with Jayden Daniels orchestrating the Commanders offensively. He's been smart with the football, and he's also been very, very accurate. Look at the numbers there on the graphic, completing 77% of his passes. That is phenomenal for any quarterback, better yet a quarterback in the midst of his rookie campaign. And outside of that, I love his ability to sustain drives for his offense to get into scoring positions. They're tops in the NFL, Chris, in points scored per ball game. 31 points is what they average. Think about that. 31 points for the Washington Commanders, a team that has been so inconsistent in scoring points and doing so in a rapid way. This season, because of their quarterback, they're scoring points at will.
Yeah, and it looks like they have their franchise QB for a very long time. Here's a look, though, at how the matchups look when it comes to Lamar Jackson's first career 5 starts and Jayden Daniels' first 5 career starts.
I mean, the only, you know, when you look at the similarities, the win-loss record. Right?
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, same amount of passing touchdowns, and Lamar had more rushing touchdowns, but everything else is in Daniels' favor.
Right. So you have to like what you want. You have to like what you see if you're Jayden Daniels and this Commanders team. And for more on the Patriots deciding to go with my man Drake Maye against the Houston Texans, B-Mac.
Yeah.
This is a defense, right, with the Texans. They have a lot of pressure up front. Will Anderson particularly. You got Derek Stingley Jr. in the secondary. What are your expectations for Drake Maye, knowing that he has a lot of issues like just around him when it comes to the skill positions and the offensive line?
Well, the bar offensively for the New England Patriots is low enough for a 2-year-old to jump over. So with that being said, I don't have any expectations for Drake Maye. And that's a good situation to walk into because they've been dreadful offensively. And it's not solely because of Jacoby Brissett. Listen, numbers will tell you everything you need to know when it comes to sports, individuals, and teams as a whole. 31st, last. Not good. Not good. And if you're 31st, you're basically last because the last time I checked, there's only 32 teams in the National Football League. But one stat they actually sit atop of instead of being in the bottom tier. Sacks allowed. They're number 2. But actually, that's not a good spot to be in either. So offensively, everything that you would not want to see happen within your offense has happened in this early part in the season for the Patriots. Now in comes your rookie quarterback. When you talk about expectations, you really shouldn't have any because they haven't shown you anything to make you believe or feel to be optimistic that they can get things going. So if I'm Drake Maye, listen, I'm walking into a situation where we've been playing bad football. Any little bright thing I could do, it will be glorified because they haven't had those sentiments so far this season.
Yeah, my expectation is he just leaves the game healthy.
Healthy.
Right? That's it. Because you're probably not going to win the game, but if you can show some progress, If he can remain healthy, that is a good thing for him. You know, speaking about health, second-year QB Anthony Richardson for the Colts, he's been dealing with injuries his first 2 years, and he's expected to start for the Colts, right? And the interesting thing, B-Mac, is Joe Flacco has played really well coming in for him. How much pressure is on Anthony Richardson to perform well, knowing that maybe time could be running out? It sounds like an overreaction, but what are your thoughts?
I think there's a lot of pressure for Anthony Richardson, and here's why. Right on time. Look at the graphic. Right? Now, Anthony Richardson is 2-2, but let's keep it real. That Pittsburgh Steelers victory, he left the ballgame in the first half. Guess who came in relief to finish the deal for the Colts? Joe Flacco. And yes, Joe Flacco is 0-1, quote-unquote, based on the numbers, but he played winning football last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They put up 34 points. So you saw the numbers there. Joe Flacco, he's better when it comes to completion percentage, 70-55. Joe Flacco, he don't have as many passing yards, but clearly he's been super efficient. But in 2 games and only starting 1 full game, he has 527 yards. So he's played a game and a half, and he has almost just as much passing yards as Anthony Richardson. And look at the touchdown to interception ratio. And look at the passer rating. What are we talking about?
That's nasty right there.
What are we talking about, Chris? Like, since Joe Flacco exited the car pickup line and returned back to the NFL, he has been living up to the billing, exceeding expectations. And once again, he started to look like the Joe Flacco that we saw with the Cleveland Browns last season. So to your question, I will reiterate my answer. I think there is pressure on Anthony Richardson to live up to the billing. This was a top 5 drafted player for their franchise to be the franchise quarterback. 2 things that have surfaced for Anthony Richardson: the inability to stay healthy, right? You have durability concerns, and then just being consistent, and untimely bad turnovers have been associated with his game so far in the National Football League. He has to get rid of the untimely turnovers, and he has to find a way to stay healthy. But when you're on the football field, tomorrow is a very, very important game. You're playing against a divisional foe, a team that's still trying to figure things out in the Tennessee Titans. You got to find a way to deliver the goods, because you got a guy who is sitting on the bench. Whenever his number is called, he is answering that call regardless if it's collect or not.
Very well said. That was a lot of bars there from my man B-Mac.
Do they still have collect calls?
That's a good question. I don't know, but what we do know is Anthony Richardson has to